would surely be laughed at. After thinking it over, he decided Shizuka's place was the best option. But as soon as he arrived at her doorstep, he saw Shizuka and Mrs. Minamoto just about to go out. Listening to the two chatting and laughing happily, Nobita hid aside, lost in thought. With nowhere else to go, he had to wander along the riverbank to clear his head. Suddenly, a heavy rain began to pour from the sky. Unlike the other kids who had someone to pick them up, he had to take shelter under an overpass in utter dismay. Just then, a little kitten walked over to him. Nobita thought it must be lonely just like him, but unexpectedly, the kitten also had a family to go back to. This sight made him feel even more heartbroken. Just then, Doraemon came to bring an umbrella for Nobita. But still holding a grudge, Nobita insisted that he would never go home until he found his biological parents. Helpless, Doraemon suggested that they go back to the future to check things out. So they took the time machine back to the day Nobita was born. At that moment, Dad hurried back home. Nobita ran up to him and shouted, "Dad." The sudden surprise nearly scared Dad out of his wits. Fortunately, Doraemon reacted quickly enough. He pulled Nobita aside in a hurry. Just then, the hospital called. Upon learning that the baby was about to be born, Dad rushed out of the house in a frenzy. Nobita and Doraemon followed closely behind him. They saw Dad walk into a camera shop. He spent a fortune on the latest model of camera, planning to capture the moment when the baby came into the world. When they arrived at the hospital, Dad waited anxiously outside the operating room. Before long, the cry of a baby came from inside the room. The big stone in Dad's heart finally fell to the ground. When he heard that it was a healthy baby boy, Dad went inside and held Mom's hand gently. Looking at the little Nobita lying in the crib, Dad's eyes sparkled with joy. He couldn't wait to take out the camera and snap several photos in a row. Nobita and Doraemon outside the door could no longer contain their excitement. They rushed in, nearly making Dad drop the camera in his hand. But when Nobita saw his baby self, he frowned in confusion. He thought to himself, "Why does he look more and more like a little monkey?" Dad would not allow them to talk like that. He immediately drove the two of them out of the room. Later, Mom and Dad prepared to give the child a name. Dad looked at the cherry blossom tree by the riverbank and decided to name the child Nobita. He hoped that his son would grow up as healthy and sturdy as that tree. No matter where he went, he would always keep striving upward. After saying that, Dad took many more photos of the baby. He also wanted to take a picture of the cherry blossom tree outside, but accidentally dropped the camera into the river. Dad slid down the bank at once and kept searching for it frantically. Unfortunately, his foot slipped and he lost his balance. Doraemon quickly rummaged through his pocket for a gadget to help. Luckily, Dad knew how to swim, so he was not harmed. Seeing this, the two of them finally breathed a sigh of relief. Although the camera was retrieved, the film inside was completely ruined. Dad felt a little apologetic toward Nobita because of this. At this moment, Nobita finally understood why there were no photos of him taken on the day he was born. The two walked along the riverbank on their way back. The cherry blossom tree was in full bloom that year. Just as they were lost in the beautiful scenery, the voices of Mom and Dad came from afar. Nobita apologized to them for his willfulness earlier. Later, the whole family sat together under the cherry blossom tree. Dad said that even though there were no photos taken on the day Nobita was born, he had stayed up all night that evening to draw a sketchbook of the baby because he thought his drawings were not good enough. He had hidden the sketchbook away all these years.